Well, welcome back, watch people. Now, I'm afraid I'm bringing you a rather sorry tale this afternoon. A watch theft, a watch robbery that has taken place just today, and also to someone who attended my watch show in Brighton, someone who I've met and a viewer of my channel. And look, guys, if I ever needed reminding why I'm trying to get this campaign on the road with regards to getting the official Rolex Lost and Stolen Register reinstated, today typifies everything that is wrong with having that register available only to authorised dealers. Guys, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Tony. Tony, as I say, is a viewer of my channel, and Tony is just about to share his experience with you guys that happened just today. Well, Tony, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for speaking out and having the bravery, the courage to come on and tell us your story this afternoon. What exactly has happened over the last 24 hours?
Yeah, well, thank you, Paul, as well for your help with this. Obviously, this actual incident has been spaced over 2 days. Yesterday, I had a call about a Rolex Oyster watch that I'd got on Facebook. I'd had it on a forum. I then placed it onto the Facebook market page, and somebody contacted me, wanted my number, and the phone rang, and a foreign gentleman was interested in the watch. Obviously, he wanted to come and see it. I said, well, that's not a problem. I gave them the details of where I was, and they said that they would be with me, I think around about 10 a.m. or something. Anyway, I had a call later to say they'd been delayed and that they'd be arriving around 1 o'clock. They did arrive, but on foot. There was a gentleman and a lady, and they came in, they inspected the watch. He was not sure, and also they showed me an envelope with the money to buy the watch. So there was, this wasn't a case of they were coming here to rob me. They were coming here to buy a watch. He wasn't happy about the watch, although all the documents and everything were in place. He wanted to give me a deposit and come back today. And I said, I don't really want to take a deposit because, if somebody else comes along and buys the watch, well, then it's gone. So I refused the deposit. They left. They left. Supposedly they were having a taxi pick them up, take them back to Sheerness station, and then they were going home. That was it. After they left, I thought about it, and I thought, really, do I want to be bothering with these people anymore? So I blocked the number. So I thought, well, I won't be getting any calls from them. This morning, I got a phone call from another foreign gentleman telling me that his friend who came yesterday wasn't sure about the watch, but he knew about watches, and he would be happy to accompany him today to come and buy the watch. As it happened this morning, I was out for a meeting, so I said, well, it'll have to be 1 o'clock or after. And anyway, 1 o'clock, they both arrived, inspected the watch. Yes, they were happy, got all the money out. It was all counted and placed on the table, and everything was there. There was an envelope with a window envelope. And the guy who had been doing all the negotiations picked all the money up, put it into the windowed envelope, turned it over, gave it to me. This is how I see it, obviously, but obviously in the end it wasn't what happened, but gave it to me. I then placed the envelope away. They then asked me, could I then drop them back into the town centre because their car was actually being looked at the garage. I agreed to do that. I drove them into the town centre of Sheerness, dropped them off at a location, and off they went. I thought maybe, well, that's where they were going to go and pick the car up. I literally drove back home, got the envelope from where I'd hidden it, opened it up, and of course inside was a £20 note, and the rest of it was just cut pieces of paper to look like, the same size as a £20 note. So, that was it, really. how they swapped the envelope over with the money, I have no idea. I mean, I was watching everything. I was checking all the notes to make sure that they weren't fake. The serial numbers all were random. I'd done all the things that you would expect to do, but at the last seconds, if you like, of the transaction, that's where it went wrong. So, I'm absolutely, obviously devastated about it. I've lost a £4,500 watch, but I don't think I could have done any more. I think I did everything that I could have done. Maybe I should have had an extra person here. I don't know, but. There we are. Anyway, that's the story, Paul.
I'm afraid, Tony, it's the similar story that I hear a lot in the respect that, when good, honest people deal with other people, they expect them to be good, honest people. And unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. But look, no. Tony, you described them earlier to me as they told you that they were Greek. I don't think they were Greek. Personally, I think that's very unlikely. But we have a brief description. Can you give us a description of the people that are involved, first of all, please?
Yeah, OK. So one was, I would say to be about 5'3", 5'4". Quite a well-built gentleman. A little bit of a stomach on him, if you like. He was a little bit fat. English wasn't good. The problem, obviously, because of the coronavirus, I think maybe perhaps foreign people are taking more precautions. They did have masks on, and they were wearing very thin plastic gloves. Now, under normal circumstances, I mean, that would have put a red flag up. But of course, in the situation we're in at the moment, you don't think anything of it. Although the mask was sort of, not fully on the face, but it's very difficult, when somebody's got a mask on, and if it's sort of, covering from below the nose down, to sort of get a real description of them. As I say, there was one quite large gentleman, and the other one was older. He was definitely older and spoke very good English. And he had sort of grey or white hair. I would say he would have been in his. I think he'd probably have been in his 60s.
Okay.
Certainly in his 60s. The other one I would say probably was it may be mid 40s, something like that.
Okay, so you've informed the police. They've obviously gone off on the train now.
Yeah, well, that's right.
We know that you've called the police.
Yes, I called the police. Obviously, I gave them the description, and the carrier bag that I gave them to put the watch in obviously had a name on it, which I've given them the name to the police as well. So, yes, they said they were going to contact the British Transport Police. So, maybe there's a possibility that two gentlemen, matching my description will be spotted somewhere, but who knows,
I wouldn't hold your breath, mate, I'm afraid. But
no, I know. No, I'm not holding my breath.
So you're now waiting for the police to arrive. I guess they'll probably turn up in the next couple of days to give you a crime reference number.
I've got a crime number, and I've also got an envelope here with a £20 note, and then all the rest of the bits of paper inside look like they've come from Betfred betting shop or from various shops that sell that do national lottery. So they've all been cut up from various slips. Betting or national lottery slips.
Tony, I'm going to give you some advice now as to what to do now you've been a victim of crime. First of all, I've got to ask you this. I'm sorry to have to ask you a difficult question, but how has it left you feeling? I mean, listen, mate, let me just tell you something. You're actually really lucky that you haven't been hurt. Thank God, it's not the end of the world. You've lost a watch, but watches can be replaced. But what does it do to your soul, mate? Tell me what it's done to you.
I'm very upset about it, Paul, obviously. I mean, that a £4,500 watch is to lose that or lose your life or be seriously injured. My daughter, actually, I rang her and I told her what's happened. She said, well, Dad, I'm glad you just, did what you did. You didn't give them any aggravation. You let them do what they wanted to do. And it may be, it could have ended up worse than what it did. So, in one way, I'm pleased that, obviously I haven't been hurt or anything, but obviously I feel very upset about it. It's my heart's racing at the moment, and it's not a nice feeling. But there we are. It is what it is, obviously, and I do feel for everybody else that's been robbed in similar circumstances, I never thought it'd happen to me, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same, but, they did a very, very good job. I mean, this is over 2 days. I mean, this isn't just a straightforward robbery. This is planned and executed, and even although I wasn't suspicious the first time they visited me, I just thought to myself, do I need these people coming back and seeing me again? No, I don't. Block the number. So they're not going to be able to call me. But, they were persistent. They thought, well, perhaps we've got a chance here, and that's it. And they called me on another number, and they've come and done the job they wanted to do.
Yeah, I think they've seen an opportunity and they've taken it. Now, Tony, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice as to some of the things that you simply must do now if you're ever going to stand a chance of getting that watch back. And, look, once we finish this interview, I'm quite happy to go through it again with you. In a private situation, but excuse me, for the sake of our viewers, the first thing that you need to do, and that you've already done, is that you will need a crime reference number. Once you've got that, you need to give that and the watch's details. I hope you've still got details of the watch's serial and reference number. Have you still got those?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So those need to be reported to Rolex immediately. You need to do that today. And also log those that theft with thewatchregister.com. That's www.thewatchregister.com. They're an independent stolen watch registration. So get it logged, get that watch logged with Rolex and with the watchregister.com today, because if that watch is going to be hawked around, there's a good chance that it's going to be done very, very soon. And the other thing you need to do is put all of the details of your watch, including the model reference number, the serial number, etc., online, as many places as you possibly can, so that in the future a Google search will pick up your watch's details, and it's the serial number that will particularly help you or help someone else realise that that watch is stolen in the future. Tony, if you have those details to hand, I'd love to put them out online right now. And I know that you also have a telephone number for this gentleman, and I'm more than happy to try and contact him myself and speak to him and see what sort of reaction we get if you wanted me to do so.
Yeah, okay. Well, yes. I mean, obviously, I've got 2 telephone numbers, actually, so obviously...
Give me those in a minute when we come offline. But do you have the reference number and the serial number of the watch to hand?
Yeah, Rolex Oyster Perpetual.
Yeah.
Let me just put this...
Dial colour?
Black, and it's got the smooth bezel.
Smooth bezel, yeah.
Yeah. And it's 6R 514 1G2.
And the model reference number?
115200.
Lovely, Tony. Well, I'm going to pop that up online as well. And as I said, if you can get that reported instantly, as soon as we put the phone down from each other, that's Rolex at St James's Square, or the HQ in London, and also on the Lost and Stolen Register at thewatchregister.com. They will put that watch for you instantly onto their system, and as soon as you can do that, the better. You will need your crime reference number, and don't forget to place all those details on the internet as quickly as you can. And all I can really say, my friend, is that, look, for me at least, there has been 1 or 2 fundamental mistakes, but the last thing you need now is for me telling you exactly what they are. I'll do that maybe in a later video, but Tony, I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for telling us your story today.
Yeah, okay, Paul. Well, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best with the channel, and I also wish you the best, good luck, and let's hope they can reinstate the Rolex Lost and Stolen Register as well. I think that would help greatly.
And you are a prime
thank you very much again.
You are a prime example of exactly why I'm fighting this battle, Tony, and thanks for coming on today. I wish you well.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks, mate. Right, so I've got 2 names here of 2 people. I've got their numbers. I'm going to give them a call. I'm not really expecting them to even answer, but we'll give it a go and see what happens.
Voice message system. After the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording...
Well, that's the first one.
Currently unavailable. Please try later or send a text. This person's phone is currently unavailable.
Well, unfortunately, hardly surprising. And, you know, Tony's tale is a horrible one, a sad one. You know, look, I didn't want to say too much to Tony because I can tell he's upset enough as it is. And the last thing that he needed today was for me to be telling him that he'd made mistakes. But guys, look, I think the errors that Tony's made are relatively obvious. The trouble is that honest people tend to make these mistakes. You cannot have people to your home. You cannot tell people where you live. You certainly can't be allowing people to enter your home wearing masks. There are lessons learned for everyone in every situation, and bless him, I feel so sorry for him today. You know, what can you say? It's just a hideous situation all round. I mean, look, I'll try these numbers again, but they're simple pay-as-you-go phones and they throw them away. It's cards, these SIM cards will ever be used or reactivated again. Interestingly enough, the police knew that they were on this train. They knew what train they actually departed Sheerness station from. They knew the descriptions of the men. It would be interesting enough to see if they could find the time to get on that train and try and apprehend these guys. As I said to Tony, I'm not going to hold my breath, but look, you never know your luck. If there is any update to this sad tale, I'll be sure to give it to you guys, but for now that's it. Thanks for watching and we'll speak again soon.